Holy volume, 13-player class.
Number 12 overall, Dane Brugler. Number 27, Chris Johnson, which I identify as one of my favorite fits here. Taken by Reyes in the second round. Third round, we had 3 picks. Caleb Douglas, wide receiver out of Texas. Will Kavanaugh, tight from Ohio State. Chris Bell, wide receiver, Louisville. Fourth round, we had 2 picks. Trevor, wide from Texas. And Kyle Lewis, another badge for me. One of my favorite day 3 difference picks here. Michael Taft, Kevin Coleman, C.D. Traore, the tight end for Mississippi State. And in the 6th round, it was DJ Campbell, Brandon Little, Max Llewellyn, Dan Jefferson.
Oh, wait a second. UDFA signed. They got your guy, Renee Conga. They signed Mason Rieger. They signed Le'Veon Moss. They got Lewis Moore.
They want a whole new team.
Dude, Jeff Hafley's the man. Jeff Hafley's like one of those bosses who like walks in and he's basically like, you guys are all morons. And he basically just cleans the entire staff. It's kind of how Coach Carter starts, right? He walks in, he's like, oh, this is how we're going to do things. The starters leave the gym, and then he's like,
there goes our 2 leading scorers from last season, man.
And Coach Carter just looks at him and he goes,
and I guess we'll have new leading scorers this season, huh?
That's essentially what Jeff Hafley is doing. Welcome to the opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. Another cold open. Just that is a chef kiss from Tyler, our producer. Unbelievable job. Just so you guys know, we don't even know the cold opens before they happen, so we watch them at the same time that you guys watch them. But another ace right there from the chef. If you guys are audio only, I'd see there's a little incentive to make sure you come over to YouTube. Give us a little bit of a subscribe there, you know? So making sure we do that. Connor, today we are back in the saddle to officially usher in what could be a historic draft class. Streets are calling it generational.
Yeah, we watched all of it, by the way. All the summer scouting is today. All 280 players.
We're going on vacation the next 2.5 months.
Yeah. So we decided, let's just cram the entire draft class the last 10 days. Here it goes. But yeah, you know what, though? I'll give it this, because last year it did annoy me. Last year's class got overhyped, I thought, throughout summer scouting by a lot of people. Mm-hmm. This year, without us doing summer scouting yet, I feel like it's going to be semi-justified that this could be a banger.
I think so too. And what we're doing here on today's podcast, because if you guys have listened to the NFL Stock Exchange for multiple years, one, we appreciate you. We love you guys. If you're a new fan who's sticking around after you're discovering us through the 2026 cycle, we go through summer scouting where we go through position by position. We'll give you our early, top 5s, top 8s, top 10s, whatever it is, however girthy we think that the class is at those certain positions. And we will do a mock draft at the end of it. So a lot of people, like right when, the 2025 draft class ends, they have like a way too early 2026 mock. We don't do that because we don't like doing mock drafts of players that we genuinely have not watched. However, the 2027 class is so hyped up that we thought that it would be pretty fun to set the table
right
with some names and some guys that might be in the first round. And thankfully, Dane Brugler, the legend himself, the author of The Beast every single year, a true pioneer and pillar of the draft industry, he gave us a way too early mock draft. So we're going to go through Dane Brugler's mock draft here today. And fully transparent, there's going to be players on this list that I've barely watched, that I've probably heard of, but even watching live, certainly haven't studied them if they're first-time draft eligible, but we will go through all of these names. We'll tell you what we know from them. And honestly, I'll probably pull up a couple of Just Bombs Productions highlights while we're talking about players if I haven't watched them. And so that's going to
Kyle Shanahan does.
That's going to be right. Me, Kyle Shanahan. The handshake meme, me and Kyle Shanahan. That's what we're going to be doing here on this show. By the way, I do have to address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that Connor has a mustache now.
Yeah, short-lived. It's I've been told by higher authorities that it can't be in the newborn pictures when that day arrives.
There's a solo cam. We got the solo cam.
And considering that moment can happen at any time, starting now that the draft's over, I don't know if it's going to make it many more days. So this is my one fun show of the summer. Here it is. Although actually, after the newborn picks, I can just do whatever I want. No haircut, no shaving. It's summer.
What can you grow of a beard?
Not a good one. Not a good one.
You look like you've got like goatee potential.
No, I do, but I can't. That's just. Listen, I know I have a bad mustache, but a bad goatee is somehow worse. Can't do that.
No, we might need it. After the baby pictures, we might need the experiment.
That's true.
Until right
Every
before,
dad face.
until
Just
right
try dad
before
things.
until right before the baby is born, in which case your wife is going to be like, our son will never see you with that goatee. And so that might, yeah.
By the way, the chat, you said the word girth and just unlocked a new portal of the chat.
Yeah, what?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, we're talking about, how robust every position was going to be.
The chat just loved the use of the word girth. So we're on fire already. It's good to see everybody here.
Yeah,
there was a time once upon a time, and not anymore. But when we did this podcast, that it felt like we said many goodbyes after draft grades to like a large portion of the audience that was like, all right, can't wait to talk to you guys for next year's draft when that time comes. Right. And now I truly do appreciate it that people are just buckled up for the ride, the full year experience.
Hell yeah, brother.
The Space Mountain of NFL draft coverage.
Wow, great reference.
Yeah.
I actually had to explain that to the chef, that there was once upon a time where we would do draft grades, and then it was basically like, see you guys in a month, because then the next episode that we would post would be summer scouting for quarterbacks. And obviously we'll get to summer scouting. Summer scouting is going to be the meat and potatoes of what you're going to get from this show during the summer. But it's fun. Honestly, like, since we have gone live, we've said this ever since September when we started going live for this show. It's fun. We miss you guys. It's fun to do. It's fun to log on and have a good time here. And we see some super chats already in the show. We'll be getting to super chats, some throughout the show. And then, of course, some at the end of the show as well, as we kind of run through this entire mock draft. But let's get right to it. I don't think there's any other things that we have to address.
No, it hasn't been that long. And I think we're everything's good right now. So that's good.
Let's do it. So we are going through Dane's entire first round mock draft. But what you don't get here is the analysis from Dane, which Dane is very plugged in. Obviously, he has notes on players, years even before they become draft eligible. So he's got a great baseline for, again, setting the table for what these players are going to be going into the 2027 class. So make sure that you guys are going to read The Athletic and all of his great work over there. Make sure you're subscribed to it. Go read it for yourself. We're, like we said, going to announce the names and the teams, but the analysis is a very big part of sort of what this summer scouting is all about. He has the Arizona Cardinals picking number 1 overall, and he has them taking Arch Manning. How do we feel about it, Connor?
I think for the most part, this will be somewhat chalk this summer when you read a lot of early mock drafts.
You're saying, like,
I think Arch will be number 1 for a lot of preseason mock drafts. But, and it's interesting, Trevor, because I notice a little PTSD style from fans of when they see Arch ranked so highly, because understandably so, he was very hyped up last summer. And then instantly they got the Texas-Ohio State game. And he did struggle even after that. And then he played much better deeper into the season and showed a lot of the tools of why he's been thought of as a top quarterback pick for a bit now. And so when they see this again, it's like, really? We're already diving in headfirst into this all over again?
Yeah. Arch was so interesting because I believe you and I both had him as QB1 going into last year's class. And then he comes out in the Ohio State game in week 1, like you mentioned. He looked really rattled in a way that we didn't see that from him at all the previous season. Now, he wasn't a full-time starter the previous season, so that's sort of an obvious. You're going into Ohio State, you're playing that defense in Columbus. It's rough. But more important than that, like, his throwing motion was totally different. And it was different for the worse. Like, they clearly had sort of changed his throwing motion a little bit during the spring and summer. And now he was getting live reps with it for the first time. And for the first, 6 or 7 weeks, we're so back. It didn't look good from him. And it wasn't until the second half of the season, or really the back third of the season, when he really started to get comfortable with that new throwing motion, and you started to see him play a lot better under pressure, utilize that mobility. And he was kind of like the quarterback that we thought that he was going to be at the beginning of the year. It just took a little bit of time. It was also a really interesting situation because basically everybody in the Arch Manning camp was like, yeah, he's not declaring. And we were like, all right, well, he's draft eligible and his last name's Manning, so we're kind of going to put him in the first round of mocks, and it was really weird of what to do with him. But now it feels like, okay, now he's a legitimate prospect. Now we actually get to analyze him for what he is going into a better year, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that, obviously there's a lot of expectations of the talent around him as well, and we'll get into some of that. But has a year starting under his belt, got more comfortable. Getting better as the year goes on is so vital for guys looking to make the jump into what's their expected draft year. And I think that he was always going to be evaluated differently, not only because a lot of people were told how good he was going to be and maybe fell short of that early on before he turned the corner. But the second being that, he doesn't get the same ramp up grace period that other quarterbacks get because of his last name, of course. So if he wasn't an instant star out of the gate, there was always going to be some skepticism. And that'll be the case this year. There's huge expectations once again on Arch to play like the number 1 overall pick. And that's going to be difficult when you look at how much talent is in this class as we get right to number 2, because number 2 is an NFL player today.
Yeah, so number 2 is Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Number 3, going to the Miami Dolphins. Number 3 is Dante Moore, the quarterback from Oregon, going to the Cleveland Browns. Your Jets at 4, getting Leonard Moore, the cornerback from Notre Dame. And then 5, we've got Dylan Stewart, the edge rusher from South Carolina, going to Robert Saleh and the Tennessee Titans. If I'm just bouncing around a little bit here, if the Tennessee Titans can somehow get Dylan Stewart, like any and all Carnell Tate at number 4 this past year, sins will have been completely forgiven. It won't matter.
In
right?
solid scheme. Yeah.
Yes, just because this is your third down winner. This is your pin your ears back, get after the quarterback, and you feel pretty confident about that in a 4-man front. Dylan Stewart, we'll just start with him, and then we'll kind of work our way back to the other guys. But look, he's still, I think, got to get stronger, not just from a play style perspective, but also a durability perspective. I'm worried about, Dylan Stewart. I've seen him play in person. I've been at a couple of South Carolina games, but the Clemson South Carolina game was the most recent one that I saw. And he was playing through injury. I think he had a hip injury, but you look at his frame and he's still just very lean. He's a big dude, but he's very lean. And I think that he needs to put on some more weight to make sure that he can deal with the punishment of playing in the trenches at the NFL level. But Connor, the way he bends and the way that he accelerates up the arc, it's like Von Miller stuff, man. It's crazy the things that his body can do when he is given the green light to totally just get after the pocket and rush the passer. So this is a truly, truly gifted prospect, but I do still think he needs to get a little bit stronger.
We have 2 guys in the top 10 that are like that. I won't give away the second one just yet. It'll be when we move to the next slide. But yeah, Stewart right now, he's a very, very unique mover. He's currently built like Will McDonald. I don't think he's going to enter the draft that size like Will did, where Will was about 235, 240, but definitely more of that tall, long, lanky kind of, but what that becomes flexibility and natural explosiveness and some really unique gifts as a pass rusher.
What does South Carolina have him listed at? Let's see. They have him listed at 245.
There's no way.
645, 245. I bet he's closer to 237.
Yeah, I would think that. So, yeah, he's a really interesting player just on early watch of how he moves. A guy on this list, obviously I've seen more of the Big Ten players from last year already. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is special. We'll have a long combo probably about him in a second. But Leonard Moore, it jumped off the screen last year. It really not starting with, but one game where it was big time was the USC game.
Dude.
Because you got to see him against Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah.
Leonard Moore is he has everything you want in a corner. He's big. He's got speed. He's physical. He's sticky. He's instinctual already for such a young player, I think. He's someone where he's going to be in the conversation, as you see in Dane's mock draft here, as legitimately the best defender in a very good draft.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him very similarly to what was Pat Surtain's measurables?
Pat had to be what, 6'1.5"?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be similar. No, so he was, or is this? No. He was 6'2", 208 pounds.
I knew he was heavy. Yeah.
So they're going to be built, I think, very similarly. We're going to talk about Leonard Moore as like a Patrick Surtain II clone.
Without a doubt.
We really are. Jeremiah Smith at number 2 to the Miami Dolphins. They still don't really have a long-term quarterback of the future. So, I mean, the pick of Jeremiah Smith over Dante Moore, I think says much more to like who Jeremiah Smith is potentially what a lot of people are comparing him to Julio Jones. That's sort of the comp that I see. Now, obviously, I've watched Jeremiah Smith while watching college football games live, and like, yeah, he's an absolute animal, but I haven't put him under the microscope like as a true draft prospect. But anytime you get Julio Jones comps, I mean, that is some serious high praise. But the way that he is built, the things that he could do, I can at least understand being in that conversation.
Because he's so physically dominant when you look at how he can kind of get on top of coverage with such instant speed and size. And it's very hard for defenders to match his size and physicality once he gets right on top of the coverage, that he can either blow by you or he can make a play above you. He's just so gifted to finish plays. I think that's what impresses me early on the most with him is that, yes, he's big, he's fast, he makes a spectacular play, but he's pretty natural at finishing plays. A lot of big wide receivers, whether it's the drops or the concentration, or they're not as natural because they're so big. It's not the case with Jeremiah Smith.
Albert Scott in the chat saying, when I was watching Xavier Watts, he, meaning Leonard Moore, popped up on the screen more than him. Crazy work.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty wild. Dante Moore obviously going at number 3 overall. I mean, we talked about if he was in this past class, he probably would have gone number 2 overall to the New York Jets. So that's no surprise that we have there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens for Dante Moore this year. He's not as physically talented as some of the quarterbacks behind him, but where I do think he would have went number 2 overall in this class, but I'm curious how that decision looks in the long run. I think he's a good prospect, but I don't think he's as physically as impressive as some other guys. But we'll have longer combos about all that.
All right, let's do 6 through 10. Let's get to the next group here that we have from Dane's mock. Okay, so Cam Coleman, the wide receiver who was at Auburn, now he is at Texas with Arch Manning, going number 6 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders, giving them that like true wide receiver 1 type of player. Cam Coleman, from what I have seen, is pretty special. If I remember correctly, he's a little bit slender in his build. And so I'm very curious to like really turn on the tape with him and see like, does he struggle with physicality? But I know the dude can fly. He's a smooth mover, and he's a really, really good and athletic wide receiver. So him going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Colin Simmons, the edge rusher from Texas, number 7 to the New Orleans Saints. Drew Meskemaker, the quarterback from North Texas, who is now at Oklahoma State, going number 8 overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers to get their long-term quarterback. That's Drew Aller Erasure, but guess we'll let it slide this time. Jordan Seaton, the offensive tackle from LSU, was at Colorado. He's the former 5-star. Was at Colorado. Now he's at LSU. And Amari Washington, the defensive tackle from Oregon, who I felt like Amari Washington would have been a top 20 pick in this past year's draft, but ends up going back to Oregon. So here, Dane has him as a top 10 pick going to the Carolina Panthers. Where do you want to start with this group of 5 players?
Colin Simmons was the other pass rusher I was talking about that's not overwhelmingly big yet, but incredibly impactful.
He's so explosive.
Yeah, man. He fits that mold once again, a more lighter pass rusher, but incredibly productive. Can't wait to see when I talked about Arch's supporting cast. Cam Coleman's a big part of that, them getting him a big wide receiver. But, I mean, Messemaker, he didn't start in high school. Isn't this the most ridiculous story?
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. This was the big thing with him, is that when he was a senior in high school, he was a backup to Deuce Adams, who was a commit to Louisville. And he just was the number 2 quarterback. And I believe he was the team's punter. And that was it. So he was basically a nobody recruit that walked on at North Texas. Is that not insane?
That is pretty nuts. Kyle Trask was sort of the same thing because he was behind, who was it? Oh, it was De'Aaron King.
Wow.
Yeah, he was behind De'Aaron King. And then I don't think he started in high school until maybe his senior year. No, he did not start any games at quarterback after his freshman year as he served as the backup to De'Aaron King. So he was just the backup quarterback in high school. And then obviously, like, he's at Florida, he's not the starter right away. But then, Trask eventually took over and they had, Trask lit it up in Dan Mullen's offense. So it's just kind of crazy when you see that. Meskemaker, I'm very intrigued to see what he's going to do this year, especially with the spotlight on him. From what I have seen, I do like him more than some of the other quarterbacks that were getting hyped. Like CJ Carr is going to be in this list, I know for sure. And like Darian Mensah, I like Darian Mensah too, who we like kind of talked about him in the 2026 class, and then he ended up going back to Miami. But like Meskemaker has a better arm, I think, than both of those guys. Like I think Meskemaker has at least a pretty legit NFL arm, which is why I kind of like am very intrigued by him when we get to quarterback summer scouting.
Yeah, good on Oklahoma State for getting him, and great on him for walking on North Texas and becoming this incredible story where he was a backup in high school to leading a 2025 North Texas team to a 12-2 record. I mean, he's one of those like, he could be the story of the draft. And we have such a long ways to go before we get there, but it's incredible that that's on the table.
Jordan Seaton, the offensive tackle from Colorado, who's now out at LSU.
Super interesting.
Pretty insane athlete.
And played right away.
Was he the number 1 overall player in his class?
I know it was a huge deal when they got him, because remember, their whole criticism was that they had no offensive linemen. So they went out and they got him in that recruiting class. He started as a left tackle right away in 2024 to obviously block for Shedeur that year.
Right.
And so he was pretty good. Like when we watched Colorado that year, he was a big improvement even as a freshman.
So he was a 5-star. He was at IMG. He was the 13th overall player in 247's database, but he was the number 1 offensive tackle. So they signed the number 1 offensive tackle in the country for that year with Jordan Seaton.
Yeah, so I'm excited to actually watch his tape.
Dude, so explosive. And I don't know if you've seen like pictures of him, but like at LSU, he seems as though he's really honed in the diet and the strength and conditioning and all that. Like he is a very built, whatever it is, 305, 310, whatever weight he's at officially now at LSU. But he looks even more athletic than what he was at Colorado, which is really saying something, because I think he was a crazy athlete. Amari Washington, that first step explosiveness, I mean, the NFL is going to be all over it.
It's limiting the lows, right? He had a lot of highs and lows on tape.
Yes.
I thought it was a good move that he went back.
I agree. And to me, I think that he has the potential to be a top 10, top 12-ish overall pick now that he is going back, because, I mean, again, the first step explosiveness was nuts with him, but I felt like he was kind of all over the place when it came to some run defense stuff and just the highs and lows of his tape, but I am excited about him.
All right. Move on to
11 through 15?
Yeah, 11 through 15.
Oh, we got Charlie Becker in here. Let's go.
At 11.
I haven't seen this yet, so this is new to me. Charlie Becker, the wide receiver from Indiana, which, as Indiana was going through their college football playoff run, everybody was just saying, hey, cool, Elijah Surratt's great. Oh, Omar Cooper Jr. is cool. Charlie Becker is the best one of them all. And there's maybe reason to believe that is the case. I'm very curious to see what life is going to be like now that he is the man at Indiana. But wait, who's Indiana's quarterback now? Didn't they get a notable one in the transfer portal?
Didn't they get the TCU quarterback?
Oh, what's his name?
Josh Hoover.
Hoover, yes, which I'm kind of excited about, because I liked Hoover a couple of thank you, chat. A couple of games into the 2025 season, but he kind of fell off consistency wise. But I'm intrigued with him. Trevor Gooseby, the offensive tackle from Texas, I did not like him at all when we went through summer scouting, and then as the year went on, he got way better. So excited to see what he kind of turns into and what we think of him this time around in summer scouting. Jamari Johnson, the tight end from Oregon, going
Big
even
flashes
higher
this year,
than Kenyon Sadiq did, which is interesting. Ahmad Moten Sr., the defense tackle from Miami, he was one of the last guys that I was getting to right around the declaration date. And I remember watching him and I went, okay, top 50, no question about it. And that was without even like a deep dive study into him because I was sort of waiting for him to officially declare. He goes back to Miami, but he's another dude who's insanely strong and could absolutely be a top 20 pick, I think. And then CJ Carr, the quarterback from Notre Dame, that people have a lot of high hopes that he could take that next step this year. They have him, or Dane has him going 15 overall to the Jets here.
This is one of the groups I feel like I've seen the most of. I didn't watch any tape of Gooseby last year. I do remember you talking about him. Mm-hmm. Jamari Johnson had a lot.
I know Renner loved him towards the end of the process. Like Renner was like, this dude should declare because he might be a first round pick.
I'm excited to watch his tape for tackles then. Johnson, of course, had plenty of times where like, is this the best tight end on Oregon this year? Right. Moten, I mean, the whole Miami defensive line was absolutely dominant. Becker, size and speed, probably underappreciated in the recruiting process, just a 3-star, but he won state championships in the 110-meter hurdles. So, yeah, Becker, he's from Nashville, but Becker, size, speed, ball skills, really excited to talk about him during wide receivers. Carr is one of the only guys, because obviously we do quarterbacks first, that I'm pretty much done with. I did watch Carr. And, I obviously at NBC, we have Notre Dame pregame, so I've done a couple of those shows, got to watch a lot of the Notre Dame offense last year. There's a lot to like with CJ Carr, man. There really, really is, especially when you kind of hone in on that he was a redshirt freshman last year. I mean, he to me is already at his age, a pretty low effort thrower. I like the timing, the accuracy. He's got the natural loft to put the ball over linebackers, but kind of tuck it away from the over the top coverage. There's plenty of times where you get to see him hit the intermediate out route from the opposite hash. You turn on the NC State game, he got to make a lot of big throws in that. He's getting better at learning how to climb the pocket rather than a lot of young quarterbacks drift out of it. He had a 94th percentile sack rate, which is a tip your cap to Notre Dame's protection last year. I thought they did a really good job. And their ability to run the ball also naturally protects the quarterback. But still, a 2.5% sack rate. Like, that's phenomenal for a young quarterback. Mm-hmm. But, the combos we'll have with him is I think the playmaking and speed is below average. I thought some of the in-breaking over the middle stuff he lost accuracy on. Stares down some throws for some bad turnovers. But, yeah, I mean, overall, there's a lot to be excited about with Carr as a pocket passer in this class, I thought.
I know a lot of people are very excited with him. Did you... because I was looking up Ahmad Moten highlights, which, my God, what an animal.
Yeah.
But... what did you think about his arm? Did you talk about his overall arm strength there? Or did I miss that? What do you think? Like, yeah.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
It's funny because the quarterback I watched before him was Brandon Sorsby. Who just has a stupid arm.
Yeah, Sorsby's got an NFL arm.
Sorsby's got high-end NFL arm.
Some would say even a supplemental draft type of an arm.
Yeah.
Many are saying.
I think it's going to conclude that way, which is going to make for a very interesting time for this channel specifically, because we've never covered a supplemental draft.
I can't wait to do a supplemental mock draft.
Yeah, one player.
It'll be a 90-second show.
The first mock draft, only one of us gets to pick.
All right, Connor, you want to pick odds or
you want to pick?
Do you not want to pick at all
today?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorsby. When you watch Sorsby, he's just dripping with traits. It's everything else that's not where it needs to be.
The supplemental draft concept is fascinating because unless they change something about it, because they haven't really done it in a handful of years,
it needs updating.
It's essentially just an auction fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Like
that's a real human.
That's basically what it is. Yeah. Because the way that it has been described to me is that it's basically just an email, right? Where the league will email everybody in the league and they'll go, all right, the supplemental draft is open. And then Schefter will tweet out like 5 minutes later, like, And that concludes the supplemental draft for the 2025 like summer or whatever. And like nobody got picked because nobody submits anything. So I actually need to do some more research into it now that it's going to matter and matter a lot for this year. But it's kind of just, it's sort of like an open bidding. It's like, okay, the supplemental draft is open. Anybody want to use a first round pick on a player? Because the way that it goes is if you, is it the immediate next year or is it the year that follows?
That you
like if you use it, that you lose a draft pick.
It's the next draft.
It's the immediate draft?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Because it basically, they'll go, all right, does anybody want to use a first round pick on anybody? And it's kind of just this giant game of chicken then. Because if you don't say, like, yeah, I'll use a first round pick on Brendan Sorsby or whatever, and somebody else goes, yeah, I'll use a first round pick on Brendan Sorsby, they get him. Like, they just get to draft him. And I don't know what the tiebreaker is. They rock, paper, scissors for it?
Do
they arm wrestle?
No, it's a very convoluted way they do the order. Do you know who the last supplemental draft pick was?
Was it Sam Beal?
No, that was my guess. We were talking about this on Badlands earlier today. My guess was Beal. It was the year after that. This player just got a contract in free agency this year. Very successful supplemental draft pick.
Was it Jalen Thompson?
It was Jalen Thompson.
There it is, baby.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell me I don't know supplemental ball. Don't anybody.
I lived for the supplemental draft. Yeah, the problem is that it's so weak.
We gotta come up with a way better tiebreaker for the supplemental draft.
Yeah, it should be skill based.
100%.
Some kind of game that the coaches or GMs have to play. Like imagine it's Darren Muji and Monty Ossenfort have to play like Super Smash Brothers for the top of the third round.
Oh, now you're speaking my language, baby.
I mean, this would be, you're telling me this wouldn't do numbers?
Brother, we would be watch-alonging the shit out
like
of Darren Muji versus Monty Ossenfort Super Smash Brothers for the right to get Brendan Sorsby. Sorsby's in the crowd. They've got it's a lot. They bring it back to Radio City Music Hall like they're doing it in Radio City. It's a packed house.
I mean, think of the gauntlet you could make to decide the supplemental draft tiebreakers. It needs one.
Peter says a hot dog eating contest would be better.
I think we do a gauntlet though. So one is gaming, one is physical, whether that's test of strength.
See, you should be able to get your whole front office staff involved in this.
Yeah.
Right? Because then that would go into some of the hires. You know, like if you knew that arm wrestling was one of the categories for the supplemental draft, then you got to get Tyson Bagent's dad just to be, make sure that he's like a consultant or something, like in the front office staff.
Tyson Bagent's dad is hired as an area scout, and it's literally just to do the arm wrestling portion of the supplemental draft tiebreaker.
Man, this is fascinating. What would be the bet? You said Super Smash Brothers. I see people in the chat are saying, 1v1 on Rust, a classic, of course. That's the classic way to do it. So J Mikey said rap battle.
I hope not. That would be painfully awkward. Have you guys watched Muji speak before? I don't know if rap battle would be entertaining.
Oh, like free throw contest,
Free throw contest is a really, really good,
because there's
basic
so much
challenges.
Pressure. Yes.
Very basic. Basically challenges that any human should be able to, in theory, do. A hot dog eating contest, yeah, it fits the mold. It's not pretty, though.
Yeah, see Peter in the chat saying Dance Dance Revolution. That's actually that's insane goal.
Putting challenge?
Yeah, Guitar Hero.
Oh man,
Guitar Hero 3?
No, you got to do Rock Band. So your VP of personnel or your head coach needs to be on the drums.
Right.
Michael LaFleur, you are on the drums for Monty Ossenfort today.
See, I like the team. I like the team aspect here. This is good. We're evolving here.
Oh, man.
Rock Band. Rock Band's a great one because the whole staff has to get involved. And you are just sweating, crapping yourself, knowing that if you miss this hi-hat beat on the drums, Brendan Sorsky is going to be throwing tutties for the other team. And you're going to be sitting here with Gardner Minshew or Carson Beck.
Oh, man.
And I can't imagine more pressure than that.
Yeah, Michael Floor just totally screwing up Enter Sandman on the drums, and Monty Osborne having a meltdown on the
Just
mic.
screaming at him. Just screaming.
Mid lyrics.
Perdusky said a flip cup tournament, which you could expand that to just, an adult beverage Olympics.
The whole facility needs to flip a cup.
Yeah.
I saw somebody in the chat, I think it was Oatmeal Cookie, was like, what is this show even about anymore? Welcome to Summer, pal.
Hold on. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're getting to the people. This show's so off the rails. We're talking about what needs to be talked about for the supplemental draft.
Yeah,
We're making improvements to the league. Fix your franchise, but it's the NFL. It's the whole league. It's the whole operation.
Make no mistake. Don't let the NFL fool you. They want everything to be entertainment. Where I'm actually wondering, are they going to one day adopt a lottery just so it's another marquee televised event? Not because it's a good idea, because as a New York Rangers fan, I'm dreading the lottery this week as we end up losing pick 3 to go all the way down to number 5 or something stupid.
No.
But
hey, it could be worse. You could have lost in the first round for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, that's
in a game 7 in which you had an 85.5% chance of winning that game.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I don't even like hockey.
No, you love it.
No, I've never watched.
You love it. Montreal is going to be a problem for a long time. I'm not going to lie. For the first time, I am very nervous about them for the next 8 years.
But McDavid's going to love Tampa. That's all I'm saying.
Would you be shocked?
Connor McDavid's going to love Tampa.
It makes so much sense on so many levels as their core ages out, and then he just goes to play for Cooper, and oh boy.
Yeah.
We don't have to go there.
See, now we got off the rails for sure.
We do hockey every summer a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. This is about the time. You remember what was it, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah. I was still living in Hoboken.
Rangers played the Lightning in the, what was it? Was that the Eastern Conference
Finals? It was the ECF. Yeah.
God damn.
Yep. Broke me.
That was tough. That was tough times for the pod.
Yeah,
it was tough times.
Yeah, it was about the last time one of my teams it felt like was in meaningful games. Even though they were in the ECF 2 years after that. They were never beating Florida. So.
I've said this before, but I still have nightmares of Sean McDonough just saying the name Zibanejad. Yeah, on the power play.
That's a classic.
Okay, let's go 16-20 here. Back on the rails with Dane Brugler's way too early mock draft. KJ Bolden got top 20?
Georgia has a few guys, I think.
Dude, Bolden's awesome. I love KJ Bolden. He's a stud. I didn't know we were thinking about him top 20, but I think KJ Bolden's a stud. So he's got him going to the Jaguars there at 16. Cincinnati Bengals at 17. Jacarius Peak, the offensive tackle from South Carolina, which I don't know him. I got to familiarize myself with this. The Chicago Bears. Peter, you paying attention? Chicago Bears at number 18. Kelly Jones, the cornerback from Mississippi State. 19, your Jets for the third time. Will Eccles, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss.
Damn.
And then the Dallas Cowboys at number 20, Nick Marsh, the wide receiver, who is now in India. I was about to say that real confidently, but I don't think I realized that Nick Marsh transferred from
Marsh is sick.
Michigan State to Indiana.
And Michigan State just couldn't utilize him the way he needed to be. I think he's going to explode for Indiana.
Yeah,
this is insane potential for Cignetti. By the way, Peak, because I was kind of, scratching my head there. He was on NC State last year. I was like, I watched a lot of South Carolina's offensive line.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
So I was like, what? So it makes sense that he's a transfer.
Yes. Okay.
Much needed help for Lenora Sellers.
Yeah, 100%, which we haven't seen Lenora Sellers' name yet. So he's a redshirt senior, so he's a grad transfer. So he could have been eligible in last year's draft, but I don't remember talking about him much.
Yeah, 6'4", 298, so that's probably why. A little smaller.
Wow. Wait, where do you have him 298? Because South Carolina's got him at 310.
Oh, they did the classic transfer roundup?
Yeah, they might have.
NC State had him listed at, ESPN had him listed for NC State at 298.
Oh, no.
Maybe he got his weight up.
Wait, somebody said that Jacarius Peak tore his ACL. Was that recently? Or was that why he wasn't in last year's class type of a thing?
Yeah, I thought he's playing this year.
Jacarius Peak is an all-pro name. Yes, that's
an
correct.
amazing name.
That is correct. When did he tear his ACL? Oh no. Knee injury that could.
Oh, he could miss a lot of the season.
Oh, he is. No, he is the one who suffered the injury in February. I remember there was news back in like January and February that someone had got hurt on South Carolina's line. Did not realize it was him.
So Beamer spoke about this at the end of February. He said he'll miss the spring. Duh. He's not going to be fully cleared in the summer. Duh. But fully anticipates him being ready to roll when September rolls around. That's early.
What did they cut off his leg and give him like a vibranium leg like in the Winter Soldier?
Good for
what did they do
Peak.
here? Wow.
Yeah. So I guess we will see him play this year.
If he's ready anywhere near September, that's actually a stock up because the elite athletes recover very quickly.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he's back. We hope he is. I have not seen Kelly Jones play.
Oh, I haven't either. You know what that means? It's time to go to it's time to go to
watch him.
It's time to go to the highlight reel live on the show.
Just bombs.
We're heading immediately to just bombs here. Okay, wait, 6'4".
Wow.
This kid's huge.
Wait a minute.
All right, gifted interceptions, the first play. What do we have for the second play here? All right, press coverage, thank goodness. We've actually got him in the alignment he needs to be in. Dude, this kid looks huge.
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
Okay, this kind of feels like... All right, already have a little bit of questions on the long speed with him.
Oh, boy, that was fast.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 plays in, and I'm a little bit worried. He's a little Tacario Davis-y to me.
Okay.
Let's see. What's the official measurables here? 6'4", 195. What year is he? Is he a junior? He's a redshirt junior. Had 17 starts last year. He looked a little Tacario Davis to me when I was
Chat said he had a big matchup against Jordan Tyson, so that'll be a fun summer scouting watch.
Okay.
That'll be cinema.
All right. Yeah, okay. Cody said to Trevor's point about elite athletes, Ant just came back a week after hyperextending his knee. Ant's already back after that? That's crazy.
This time of year,
you gotta lock in.
Yeah, you just do whatever you can, even if you're like 40%.
I love Anthony Edwards.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He is so much fun. Anything else?
On the group? So Marsh is going to be awesome. I really, really do think that.
Yep.
Eccles, I expect to be more disruptive this year. I think it's there for him to... I was looking at his pass rush win rate. It was only 5.7%, but I feel like there's enough mini flashes there where he could hopefully take that jump. So that's it from this group.
He had 11 tackles for loss last year, 5 sacks. He's a big dude. I mean, I'm just watching a little bit of his film right here. I mean, I remember seeing flashes of him. Man, he's quick for a big dude. There's no doubt about it.
Like watching him, I was like, I think he's going to have a much better pressure rate next year.
I can already tell the pad level seems like it's going to be an issue for him, but he's super quick off the ball. And I think anytime that you have quickness at that kind of size of defensive tackle, it's somebody that is that's worth noting there. All right. 21 through 25, I believe.
That's right. Another Georgia defensive back.
Ellis Robinson, who was, man, I feel like I have really liked what I've seen from him over the last couple of years. I think didn't he start as a true freshman?
I think he has been starting for multiple years.
So Ellis Robinson, the fourth, the corner from Georgia, going 21st overall, the Denver Broncos. Jaden Baugh, the running back from Florida, the first running back off the board to the Houston Texans at 22. Jaden Mayava, the quarterback,
talked a lot about him.
USC, going to the Detroit Lions at 23. How do you say this name?
Is it Tuioti?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. By the way, Ellis Robinson didn't play in 2024. I thought he played. So he started last year. But I thought there was a lot of moments where I was like, this guy looks better than Dalen Everett.
Yeah, maybe they were just speaking very highly of him because he was a young cornerback who was already starting. Tudiodi, yeah, I guess that sounds right for how his name is spelled out. And then this one I'm super excited about it. 25 overall, Damon Wilson II, the edge rusher from Miami. He was at Missouri last year, and he was draft eligible. Technically, he was draft eligible last year. And I remember watching a little bit of him and thinking, okay, there is absolutely something here. Like, he has the first step explosiveness. He has the athletic ability. He just hadn't put it all together when it came to like total pass rush plans. He's going to the perfect spot with Jason Taylor. I would not be shocked if this turns out to be one of the better edge rushers in the class, just because of the flashes that I saw from him at Missouri, and then knowing that he is going to the best defensive line coach in all of college football in Jason Taylor down at Miami. I'm super excited for him to be there.
Yeah, it's a great move for him because, like you said, especially I remember early portion of last year, like the first half of the season, he was having some pretty monster performances. Tatum Tuioti on Oregon.
Okay, that's how you say his first name, Tatum.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is it goes to show you once again, like we've already gone through 2 pass rushers in the top 10 and then 2 pass rushers on this group of 5 alone. Another good looking group early on.
Jaden Baugh is an absolute stud.
Good running back class, it looks like.
It's a crazy running back class. He is like 225, 230 pounds, but he's got some serious explosiveness. He is super powerful. He is an NFL back through and through. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Ahmad Hardy could potentially be in this class as well.
Yep.
Kewan Lacey from Ole Miss. Like, it looks like it could be a serious running back class, and I wonder if we get a couple more that we have in here. Yeah, no Lenore Sellers yet. Yes, in this mock draft that we have here. What do you think about that overall? Before we get to the next crop of players, what do you think?
I'm fine with that. I think Sellers did not take a single step last year from what I watched over summer, and I get some of it was not his fault because I think things around him could have been a lot better, but he's just still so far away. He's just a great athlete and a gifted player that is still trying to be able to process at that speed. To be fair, there's plenty of quarterbacks probably that'll show up on this or a lot of lists that are the same way, but he's a day 2 project right now to me.
Somebody in the chat said, are we sure that Sellers is good? No, we're not sure, but no. I mean, he is extremely physically gifted.
But
and so,
Trev, like, if anyone wants to hear us on Sellers from last summer,
yeah,
Trevor and I were not sitting here telling you Lenore Sellers was a first-round quarterback last summer. We were actually like, wow, that was really disappointing. I hope he's really good this year.
Joe in the chat says, shameless plug for the NFLSE Discord. I suggested some post-draft content for everyone to consider that I thought would be cool to see these small fries discuss. Go check out the Discord. I was hanging out with everybody in the Discord this morning. Now that the summer is here and I don't have to watch tape every single hour of the day, I'm going to make sure that I'm in there going back and forth with you guys.
I'll try to be better about that.
It is really cool. We've got over 5,000 people in the NFLSE Discord. It's really cool stuff. The link to get into the Discord, it's free to get into. So if you're a Discord user at all whatsoever, come hang out with us. Come hang out with the Addicts there. The link is in the description to the show. Also, I guess this is a good time to plug this. I mean, we said that we were on the campaign to 75K subscribers. By the time we got to the end of the draft, we got over 72.5K subscribers, which, to be honest with you guys, that was such a lofty goal at 75. Connor, I'm pretty sure we were like 2 months out from the draft and we had like 51K followers and we were like, all right, 75K. So the response that you guys have had has been really cool. If you are watching this show for the first time here on this episode, subscribe to the channel. And if this is maybe your second, third, fourth, fifth episode that you have watched, just check to see if you're subscribed, because we would love for you to be subscribed so you get notifications whenever we go live. You can come hang out with the Addicts. We really appreciate you guys. It was so cool watching the response that you guys had, subscribing to this show and becoming a part of the Addict community. It's the best NFL draft community in the world, and that does not stop just because the 2026 campaign to 75K was over. I mean, we're going to keep marching until we get to 75K, then we get to 100K, then we get to 200, then we get to 500,000, then we get over 1 million. We are on the march for all of that stuff, and we appreciate you guys for subscribing to the show. Okay. What do we got?
Saw someone in the chat asking for the Discord link. It is, great job by the chef, in the bio of the show.
Yes.
You just click more info on the bio of the show. It's right there. You could join for free.
Let's see. All right. Next group.
Yeah.
Is it 26 to 30 or are we getting 32? All right, we're getting 32.
There's Hardy, by the way.
There he is. Ty Benefield, the safety from LSU, going 26 to the Kansas City Chiefs. I have not watched him.
Neither have I, but not shocking. LSU has restocked talent for the top of this draft again.
I think you say his last name Laluolu, the center from Oregon, who I did like him coming into the season last year, but then the hype kind of died out a little bit for him, and so it makes sense that he's back. But Dane has him number 27 here in the first round to the San Francisco 49ers, which is interesting. TJ Moore, the wide receiver from Clemson.
Yeah.
Next on the list, and not Ryan Williams from Alabama, who's going 32 to the Los Angeles Rams. Interesting. I'm not familiar with TJ Moore's game.
No, somebody that I need to watch a lot more of. Get it? Just watch so much of that offense last year, though. I feel like when I watch his tape, I'm going to be like, oh, I've seen this a million times. Because when you think about it, for that offense, you had to watch all of Klubnik. You had to watch all of Antonio Williams. You had to watch all of Blake Miller, all of Adam Randall. So I feel like he definitely popped plenty of times.
Somebody in the chat saying, is Mensa in the draft or is he considered 2028? Mensa would be eligible for this draft.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, he would have been in this exercise. So no Darian Mensa, no Lenora Sellers, no DJ Lagway, but there wasn't going to be DJ Lagway. I mean, he was terrible last year at Florida. Now he's at Baylor. Oh, no Julian Sayin as well.
Yeah, that might be a surprise.
I know that Max and Dalton, the preferred walk-on guys, they really like Sayin a lot. They think the accuracy is good enough to like overcome what is maybe a little bit of lesser arm talent. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they're big fans of Julian Sayin and just the way that he operates, the accuracy that he played with. It felt like he was deadly last year. And so I know that they're big fans of him, but I understand like some people are saying like, hey, does Sayin have an NFL caliber arm? Does he have that NFL caliber build? So I think that's why we don't see him in this first round mock is because Dane, and I'm sure other people around the NFL just maybe have questions about the overall size.
Definitely. I'll say this. Will Helt, another Clemson guy, shows up on this list.
Yep.
He might have been the best player in their front seven last year.
Yeah, he had a really good year. I did not like him when he was at Purdue. I felt like he just played way too high for a defensive lineman.
He's 6'6", naturally.
Right, but he's almost 6'7" even.
Oh,
but there's
you're farming today in unethical ways.
Unethical 6'7" farming.
You're using unethical pesticides.
But I think he played a lot better this past year, so I'm excited to dig back in. 29 was Ahmad Hardy, the running back from Missouri, who we mentioned, has that first round potential. I actually have a ticket for him to win Heisman next year that I feel like I got.
I like that.
A pretty good number. And then David Stone, the defensive tackle from Oklahoma at 31 of the Buffalo Bills. I have not watched him.
No, I'll definitely need to. Once again, though, another defense that you naturally watch so much tape of during this draft season because we thought Heineke would be in the draft, R. Mason Thomas, Grayson Halton. So it's funny when you turn on the tape, you're like, I've seen this guy a million times. I just never actually focused on him. Although, same can't be said for Ryan Williams. We've watched a lot of him.
That is true. We have watched a lot of Ryan Williams. And Williams, I get worried that he's just a speed guy. Like that he's just a slender speed guy. He, to me, has to really evolve who he is as a route runner to create separation that's not just vertical separation because he was not reliable at the catch point last year either. A lot of frustrating drops, very poor in contested catch situations. So, yeah.
I mean, he was borderline brutal last year, in my opinion. I know he had been tracked with 10 drops. He didn't finish plays. He disappeared against some high-end opponents. I mean, I think of like the Tennessee game, he was good. And down the stretch, it was a real problem for this Alabama team. He's got to refine a lot of things to finish more plays. It was wild, man. I guess my expectations were thinking star. And I thought he was almost a detriment at times to their offense. So it felt like Ty got to the point where he's like, I got to find Jeremy Bernard or Josh Cuevas because Ryan Williams is not finishing plays for me.
Would love to hear some shout outs from you guys in the chat of players who did not make it in this round 1 mock draft who you think have a chance to be drafted in round 1. 18 is saying that David Stone will be the best defensive tackle 1 here. I saw Peter say this a little bit earlier. Koi Pirich, I believe is how you say his last name, the safety who was at Minnesota and now he is at Oregon, correct?
He's a stud.
Yeah, so he was not in here, but I know a lot of people like him. AJ in the chat saying Omarion Miller, the wide receiver from Colorado, who when I watched Omarion,
we watched him for wide receiver rankings,
dude, and I thought, was he top 5 for me? He might have been 5 for me, 5 or 4. I think that Omarion Miller would have been a top 50 player. Like he could have been a first round player in last year's draft. I thought he was awesome.
His acceleration with and without the ball was like, this guy can move, stop and start, change of direction. Just a very naturally gifted mover. Big play threat, 18 yards per reception, 2025. I see in the chat from 18 on 96, Quincy Rhodes. We watched a lot of Quincy Rhodes last year
it's true.
From Arkansas.
Yep.
He has some nasty moves for kind of a big end player. He's going to be interesting to project a full-time home for him.
Ian Strong, too. I was really intrigued by Ian Strong, the wide receiver from Rutgers. Did he stay at Rutgers?
I thought he did. I think they gave him an NIL deal.
No, he's at Cal.
Oh, he did move. Wow.
He transferred to Cal.
I was so sure he was going to be in the draft. I did a Big Ten tape breakdown on him during the season.
Yeah.
And then he went back, and I guess he got a good bag from Cal.
Mateo Uyunglele as well, who was kind of in
him.
last year's class, but he didn't declare. Nick Harbor, which is the freak athlete from South Carolina.
Every year.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about Nick Harbor for 4 years now, but Yanza Pierre, the edge rusher from Alabama, I am very intrigued by him. Oh, the chat's telling me that Parrish, Koi Parrish is how you say his last name. Tay Johnson, who is the safety at Utah, who I was very intrigued by. He is now at Notre Dame, I guess. I didn't realize that.
And Daniel shouted out Austin Serafeld. Serafeld had to play tackle, but I'm very high on him as a guard prospect. Very high on him. From Ohio State, if people haven't seen Serafeld.
I'm talking about somebody who's different.
No, I know. No. I was just shouting out the chat.
No. Sorry. I'm saying Tay Johnson is different than... Who was I thinking of? Who's the safety from Utah? Who I kind of liked.
I don't know.
Oh, who was it? Man.
Chat, help him out.
Teo Johnson.
Okay.
Teo Johnson.
How that happened.
Yes. Tay Johnson and Teo Johnson. Yeah, Austin Serafeld, which you mentioned there. John Henry Daly, who... Where did he transfer to? The defensive lineman from Utah who is tearing it up. Oh, he's at Michigan now.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Albert in the chat saying AJ Harris, my boy, who, had a terrible year this past season.
I'll say this for Nick Harbor, because we kind of laugh, because this is the year for Nick Harbor, although we almost thought he should just be a pass rusher.
Yeah. Well,
I mean...
It's too late now.
No, it's too late now. He did have 30 catches for 618 yards last year in a passing offense that was not fun to watch. So, Nick Harbor is getting more and more productive every year. Maybe this really is the year for him.
Am I blanking? The chat is spamming Nate Frazier.
Any particular reason they're spamming Nate Frazier?
Who is Nate Frazier?
Georgia. Running back.
Oh, they're running back. Right.
Yeah, very productive in the touches he got last year.
Yeah. Wow. He had almost 1,000 yards, 5.5 yards per carry average.
Yeah, and had some big games when it mattered the most. So,
I mean, Trinidad Chambliss.
Of course, Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah. Chat's shouting out CJ Bailey as well. He's the quarterback for NC State. Was he at NC State last year? He wasn't at NC State last year.
Hey, how about our guy, Clev Lubin?
Oh, hell yeah, baby. What a name.
Clev Lubin coming off an 8.5 sack season after a 9.5 sack season. I can't remember who it was, but somebody at the combine on offensive line day didn't remember his name, but when I asked the toughest rusher they went against, they were thinking of him.
They were saying him.
And in my brain, it was like, Clev Lubin.
There it is.
Like, yes. So Clev Lubin was, I'm excited to watch Clev Lubin in his junior year.
Caden Green, the offensive lineman from Missouri. Is he still in Missouri? God, this is the time of year where I'm just like, are these guys still at their school? He is still there.
Well, this is the problem now. Is it takes as long to scout these guys as to lay the ground floor of where everybody is. Like, remember Kevin Coleman last year? It's like Kevin Coleman's at his 4th school, and he's been good at all of them, but he just keeps transferring.
No, it's very true. And then this is the last one. Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt is, I think, a big one with Sam Levitt going from Arizona State over to LSU. I think Sam Levitt has the tools, in my opinion, to be a first-round caliber guy. I think he's got NFL-level arm strength. He's got good mobility to him. To me, he is more of a souped-up version of John Mateer. Like, I think he plays like John Mateer, but he's got an NFL-caliber arm, and I'm not so sure that John Mateer has an NFL-caliber arm. But Levitt's all over the place, man. I mean, he is a loose cannon with how he throws, and so, like, he's absolutely got to hone so much of that in before we start to talk about him in the first round. Oh, yeah, Isaac Brown as well, running back from Louisville.
Your guy, Nicky Prongos, the tackle from Stanford.
Yeah, baby. Excited to scout him.
Yeah, I remember
He's good.
You were pumped about him late in the year, and then he ended up going back to school.
Yeah, Drake Lindsay at Minnesota, too. I know a lot of people like him. Man, there's a lot of names. I mean, we just did a full first-round draft, and obviously there's an overflow of so many of those names, so it's going to be fun. Summer scouting is going to be awesome. And like I said, if you're not subscribed to the show, please be subscribed. You know, make sure that you guys are coming back, joining the Addicts, joining for the live streams. We have a lot of fun on here, but yeah, man, it's going to be a blast getting through all of summer scouting this year, because it feels like we're going to go deeper on these classes than we ever have, because there's just going to be so many names that we want to get to for so many of these positions. So yeah, man, I'm excited about this one.
Want to super chat it up?
Yes. Let's get to the super chats. We don't even have to do that. We don't even have to do this after the show. We'll do it in the show.
We'll do it live.
I'll write it. We'll do it live. The first one's Mahal. Gave us a $10 super chat. It said Dilf Stash.
Hell yeah. Give me a couple weeks.
Technically,
not to grow the stash. I'm just not a dad yet.
Yeah, right.
I gotta actually be a dad. Oh, man.
Give me a couple weeks. Not to grow the stash, to actually become a dad.
That's it. I gotta actually be the dad. Nemo Sports. It would be fun to see you react to your own first mock drafts of the 2026 class and compare them to the actual draft. I love this idea.
That would be fun.
I'm not going to rule it out. Maybe
we do that over the next couple of weeks before we get into summer scouting.
Yeah.
That could be really cool. Garrett gave us $5, said, "What's up, phytoplankton?" Insane. Hope y'all are ready for the new Saints offense. Trevor, looking at you. Sikkema, P.S. The Bird was absolutely electric for the draft. Well, hold on, you can see in Garrett's profile picture that it is the NFLSC hat at the draft in Pittsburgh. So an incredible representation of the Addicts. We absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Garrett, for representing the pod there in Pittsburgh for the draft. Saints offense could absolutely cook. That offensive line is fantastic. I like what Kellen Moore does on the offensive side of things when it comes to a play call and play design perspective. And now they don't just have Chris Olave. They got Jordan Tyson. They got Bryce Lance. They got Oscar Delp to throw into the mix as well. They got Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne. I got it. Alvin Kamara is still there for now. I mean, yeah, they could cook. They could absolutely cook.
Yeah, I'm kind of in on the Saints right now. Lots to like. Richard McKinney. Finally able to sneak onto a stream during work. I work for the federal government. Longtime subscriber, third-time live watcher. You guys are awesome. So are you, Richard. Hopefully, don't get the CIA on our ass, though.
Yeah. He didn't say where he works in the government. We don't know. Could be anything. Roberto says Connor seems like a sick soul patch guy.
No.
Just get a nice little soul patch.
Like
you got?
Chris Cornell style. Rest in peace. I don't. No, can't do it.
You'd immediately have to be in the rock band competition.
Yeah, then
for the supplemental draft.
Then I would actually pick up the guitar to play in Monty Ossenfort's rock band with Mike LaFleur on drums.
Amazing.
Imagine if you've never watched this show and that's the first thing you hear. You're like, what in the hell is wrong with these people? Stick around. It gets worse.
It does. It absolutely does. Azur gave us $5 super chat, said, early sleeper that Jeremiah Smith guy from Ohio State could be a good prospect. Well, we'll
good
keep him on
call.
the list.
I like that on the sleeper list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here.
You want this one?
Yeah.
Start bench cut.
Yep.
Calling any prospect named Mad Max. Comping tall wide receivers to Mike Evans. Or comping mid quarterbacks to Kirk Cousins. JD5 MVP soon. Hail to the Commanders. Love y'all.
Wow. Okay, this is great. Okay, so it's start bench cut. Chat, I want you guys in on this as well. The first one is calling any prospect named Mad Max. The second one is comping any tall wide receiver to Mike Evans. And then the third one is comping any mid quarterback to Kirk. Do you have an immediate start that you go to?
Yeah, the Mike Evans one is timeless.
See, I think the Kirk Cousins one is timeless. I think because I personally get offended when everybody says like, "Oh, he's tall. He reminds me of Mike Evans." Shut up.
No, it's awful, but that's why it's funny. And I love that our audience, which I am truly so thankful for, they have done a masterful job of making fun of it. That's why it's so funny.
No, I do. Yeah, the chat has been unbelievable.
Our chat just calls everything the Mike Evans of, and it's hilarious.
Lou said this is the Mike Evans of start bench cut.
There you go. It's nonstop. So I have to start that one because, yes, it is by far the worst thing to do, but that's what makes it the funniest aspect.
Okay, you might be right, and I think the chat seems to very much agree with you as well. So I'm going to say that I'm starting the Kirk Cousins comp.
I'll bench that one.
The Mike Evans comp, and then I'm cutting the Mad Max one.
Yeah, we usually try to be more creative with our nicknames.
Yeah, because obviously, I mean, Mad Max is... We know who it is. We all know who.
To me, it's Max Scherzer.
It's Max. I was going to say Max Brosmer, obviously.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Now it's Max Bredesen.
That was one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen last year.
Now it's Max Bredesen because he's in the league and he's fullback.
All right,
so
I guess we are. We're doing that. We're literally doing the thing.
That one actually checks out. Yeah. Shane gave us $5 super chat. Said, "I will be irresponsibly high on Drew Meskamaker, and nobody can stop me except him if he's bad. I guess."
I like that.
Yeah.
Yusuf said, "What's up, small fries? Are there any reasonable flaws in Jeremiah Smith's game, or is he really that different of a receiver's prospect?" I would stick around for summer scouting for the full breakdown, because right now everything is the highs.
Right.
For me.
Because right now I'd tell you no.
Right now I would say he looks freaking sick, and I don't find anything wrong in his game.
Yeah. It's hard to watch Jeremiah Smith from a just like live game perspective and not think that this guy's just going to be unbelievable in the NFL.
Yep.
Elite Biscuits. As a Browns fan, I deeply fear picking 6 or 7 again. What do y'all think of the odds of this class having enough legit quarterback prospects come draft night to get one? More Klubnik/Nuss flops would be hell. Yeah, I think a lot of the early mock drafts that we're going to do within the top 10 is going to have a lot of these teams selecting quarterbacks.
And half of them won't be good.
And that's the thing is I wish I could give you more encouraging words here, but the fact of the matter is that we're going to hype up a lot of quarterbacks, and I don't know if they're all going to be good. Odds are they're not. But I think that I also think that the odds are there where it's going to be better than this past season, right? Because I'm not convinced that Ty Simpson goes in the first round, genuinely, if he doesn't get picked at 13 to the Rams.
I agree.
Could have been a situation where one quarterback goes in the first round. I think that at least this upcoming class will be better than that.
Right. It's probably somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be a one quarterback class, which this year was billed as, despite Ty going in the first round too.
Mm-hmm.
But is it going to be an 8 quarterback first round class? That the odds are on. The odds are telling you no, because that's just the nature of the position. But the fact that we have a long list of guys with the potential to go in the first round gives us hope that hopefully 4 of them can actually hit.
Right.
So
this next one's for me.
It is. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Trev, I got to ask, why you dock points for the Giants for Reese, saying where you play him when you said you thought he was an off-ball linebacker and Harbaugh agreed?
Yeah, it was kind of the situation where he gets drafted to the Giants, and I'm like, okay, where is he going to play? Because all we heard for 2 months was he's an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher. He's going to play, like he said it himself. That's all we talked about him from an NFL perspective. And so that was kind of me saying, like, all right, well, I don't really feel as though he has the flexibility to play a lot of on-ball linebacker for you because you don't really have the reps for that. And I also kind of dock it because that's sort of the way that I felt about. Well, I guess that's not true. I mean, he was sort of talked about like Abdul Carter. That's the name that I was searching for. But I think Reese is a good off-ball linebacker. I don't know. I didn't know where he was playing initially because they already have all of their on-ball linebackers. And then when I look at him as an off-ball linebacker specifically for the Giants, I think they're going to ask him to play like almost like Mike linebacker. And that's not really where I think that he is best. I think he's much more of a run and chase type of if he's going to play off-ball linebacker, I feel like it's more of an Edger and Cooper style. And if he gets to do that with the Giants, like if Tremaine Edmonds gets to play the Mike, like, okay, but I feel like maybe you'd signing Tremaine Edmonds to do more of the run and chase stuff as well. So it's just that I don't really know what to make of his situation. I'm sort of indifferent with a lot of it because we were just told that he was an edge rusher for 2 straight months, and then he gets drafted by a team, and now he's not an edge rusher. So I'm kind of like going back on what I was thinking with him, but I don't know. It's an interesting landing spot because I truly just never thought of him to go to the New York Giants, but I think it's because I don't love him as if they give him more of the run and chase responsibilities, then that's fine. But I just never expected the Giants to pick Arvell Reese is kind of how I got to that, I guess.
CQN Rad, everyone submits their picks, and if anyone tries to pick the same player, they run the Oklahoma drill until there's only one man standing. Ossenfort versus Muji would be a sad matchup. How big is Monty?
How imposing is Monty Ossenfort?
That's basically where I'm getting at here. I have no idea how big Monty is. And there's nothing on what he played. Oh,
Monty Ossenfort, height, weight.
Quarterback. Google. Okay. Because Muji, you ever see Muji when he was like, I think he was in Falcons camp or something?
No, how big was he?
He was huge. He's not anymore. He's tall.
Dude, he's tiny now. He's like slender.
He's slender.
Yeah.
When you Google Darren Muji Falcons, there's a picture of him in camp with them, and he's a monster.
Really?
And I guess when he walked away from the game, he walked away from weights as well. I'm telling you, it blew my mind when I first saw it because you see him now, and he's just a slender dude in a suit. But yeah, he was a monster on the Falcons.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that in him.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Where were we?
Scepter gave us a $5 super chat, said, I think NFL Addicts should officiate the supplemental draft tiebreaker contest. What could go wrong? Nothing. In fact, it would improve and evolve the NFL tenfold if you guys were in charge of that.
Nothing but facts. Daniel, since you lose an identical round pick in the supplemental draft, do the Jets, who have 3 1s, use their second round pick to draft Sorsby? I don't think so. As you can imagine, I've been asked this quite a bit. I do wonder if they're open. I do wonder if they're open to using the 3rd rounder, because that would let them keep 3 1s and a 2. And at that point, you're like, well, all his talent, we'll bid a 3rd and see if we win.
I didn't even think about the Jets.
Oh, it's them and Arizona and Cleveland are right in the middle of this thing.
So now it's just going to become a game of chicken for a 2nd round pick.
100%.
Because I could name, like, even the Dolphins might even get in the mix. Now I don't think they're going to, but like the Browns, the Cardinals, the Jets, the Dolphins, like there are teams that I think would probably pretty easily bid a 3rd round pick for Brendan Sorsby. Colts, right. But I think the big question just becomes who bids a 2nd.
Well, because if you do, you get them. Right?
You would think. A
2nd rounder should get it done. I do wonder, too, if we're overlooking, because I think you and I really like the talent of the player. Are we overlooking that why he's not able to play college football is going to be a big flag for teams? I don't know.
Is it? I don't know if it's going to be.
that he allegedly was betting on his own team, and not saying that, not once again, not throwing games or anything, but more just
so the guy's a little confident that his team's gonna win. No, I'm just kidding. I know that it's very ugly.
It's a very dumb thing to do, and you're going to be the face of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. That's what teams are going to have to answer with Sorsby, who is incredibly talented.
Stiggs gave us a super chat, said the draft lottery is the worst thing in sports. Wembanyama should be a Piston.
Do you have I explained my hate. It's a necessary evil, but I hate the draft lottery in both the NBA and the NHL.
No, I mean, you want to go off on it.
No, I really don't have like some great rant for you. I just think that imagine sitting through a dog shit season and then you fall back to like the 6th pick.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, cool.
That's the thing
stinks.
is it's supposed to stop tanking, but it doesn't.
No. Look, did you watch the Canucks this year? They're one of the worst teams I've ever seen on ice, and they still might not pick first.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's fun. I think it's entertainment, but I don't think it's the best way to do it, you know? I don't really know what the answer is, though. I don't, because
that's the thing. I can only criticize it so much because I don't have an answer.
You can't do like what you do in fantasy football, where you go like, okay, well, everybody who doesn't make the playoffs, now you go into a playoff bracket, and the winner of that playoff bracket picks number 1 overall. You can't do that in other sports. The players who are currently on the team, what are they going to give it their all for the right to draft a quarterback? Like they're not going to give a shit. Like that's it. It just doesn't work like that in real life. So I genuinely don't know. And it feels like, I'm not a big NBA guy, but it feels like it's an epidemic in the NBA. Like it feels like
it's the worst in the NBA.
The 12th or 13th team in the lottery is like also tanking hard. Like you're 4 or 5 spots away from like a playoff spot, but you're like, nah, who cares? Let's lose as many games as possible.
Because the NBA is built where you could do it, where you're like, cool, we'll just sit our 5 starters in this game and we will lose.
And unfortunately for the NBA, one player changes your franchise. If you
That's right. Although, did you watch Brady Cook for the Jets last year? One player changed their franchise as well.
That's true.
They were blown out in the first quarter every week.
It's Brad Pitt from Fury, baby.
There you go.
Tank Commander.
There you go. That's right. Good callback. Kane said, made a Steelers-specific draft guide and sent it to some friends and family, and everyone loved it.
Hey, there we go.
Hopped off the stream because a recruiter called me with a new job offer. Whoa,
there it is.
God. Nicely
done. Okay.
Keep it up. Nice job, Kane. Keep it
Appreciate
rolling.
It. That's really
get that
cool.
job.
Really cool that you made the Steelers-specific draft guide. That's awesome. I love that. Will, $2 super chat. Fed's investigating how Ballard is still employed. Not after that draft, they're not. The evidence is right there.
Yeah. No, it felt like Ballard found it again. Like his velocity fell down to like 89 for a couple of years, and all of a sudden he showed up to spring training throwing 97, and they're like,
just need a little bit of rest, baby. Just need a rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Lee, where do you think the 2027 class will rank out of all the classes you have covered on the channel? Can't wait for summer scouting. Jets having 3 first-rounders. Can't miss any college football this year.
What are some of the best draft classes? 2021 was...
Well, the neighbors... Oh, yeah. But the
2023 class was awesome.
Because it was so fun to cover with all the quarterbacks.
Yeah. The 2021 class is pretty crazy, I think, when it came to hype.
I was thinking of 24. 23 was the Bryce class.
But that one died off.
24 for sure.
The 2020 class was pretty awesome. I know there are some stinkers.
We weren't doing this show then, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The 2023 class was then the best. Yeah. You're saying the one with Bryce, or no? Not that one.
2024.
No. Yeah, 2024 was way better.
2024 was nuts. It had 6 quarterbacks going in the top 12. You had superstar wide receivers. You had Brock Bowers, great tackles.
Yep.
Just nobody could play defense in that class.
Yeah, that's the best one. You're right. Good call. Drafted Up Podcast, give us $10 super chat, said, thoughts on Gophers quarterback Drake Lindsey buzz. Nate Tice and Corey Canaan like him. As a Gophers fan, I'm excited to see the progression. It's from Theo. The only game that I watched of him was when he went one-on-one with Ethan Kaliak-Manis, when Kaliak-Manis like could not miss at all. And everybody was like, oh, the guy on the other side of the field is actually better than him. And I was like, I don't know who that is. And it was Drake Lindsay. And so like I saw some throws from him then, but I have barely watched that player. So I'm not sure. You'll have to check back for summer scouting.
Yeah, same here. I remember watching that game, and then we had Minnesota, Ohio State, and Ohio State was on one that night, so he only threw for 94 yards. So I'm excited to watch him over summer. The one game we had that I covered him, it was not the best Minnesota game.
Bert gave us a $5 super chat, said, people slandering my QB for his ceremonial first pitch of the Marlins game. LOL, he slipped. Shaking my head. I went back and I watched it. I actually don't know if he slipped, but
I didn't think he slipped.
But I also don't care.
Same.
Like, it's kind of nerve-wracking getting up there and throwing a different sized ball than you have your entire career with different mechanics involved. So like I couldn't care less that like Joe Burrow sucked at throwing a baseball when people put him on camera. I don't think he did like a ceremonial first pitch or something, but
he
watched.
Did do a first pitch and he just kind of lobbed it in, but Mahomes overthrew the catcher.
It was horrible. Yeah, like I couldn't. The ceremonial first pitch breakdowns, I just couldn't care less about. Just could not care less about that for quarterbacks.
You nailed it too. When you don't throw a baseball for a really long time, it is one of the strangest things, because when I stopped playing baseball, there was a long period where I ever picked one up again. And in between, like, you still throw around a football, you still play pickup basketball, played in softball leagues in New York City. So all of that, and then you pick up a baseball again, and you're like, what the hell? This is so tiny and so weird. And that's probably the case for all these guys. They don't pick up a baseball until they're asked to throw out a first pitch in front of millions of people, and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yes. Yeah, I could not put any less stock into those things. Peter said the MLB draft lottery is worse than any sport.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. I think it's more, if I have this right, I think the odds are more spread, where like
I've done zero research on this.
I'm trying to look up the odds for it right now.
Like 0.0.
Yeah. So yeah, the odds are, it stinks, but I mean, if you finish last, I think you still have by far like really good odds, like almost a 30% chance.
Peter said, no, it just prevents teams picking in the lottery to pick in the top 10 again. Really?
Oh, where you get penalized?
So when the White Sox had the historically worst season, they picked 10th.
Yes, that's right. He's right. They weren't eligible for the lottery. That is an incredibly stupid thing. Yes, he's absolutely right.
So if you're in the lottery one year, the next year you can't be in the lottery?
Yeah, I totally forgot about this. So, consecutive year restrictions. To prevent constant high picks, teams that receive revenue sharing funds cannot participate in the lottery back-to-back years. Non-revenue sharing teams cannot pick in the top 10 in consecutive years. The same team cannot win a top 6 selection in consecutive years. That's awful.
Peter's saying they're worried about tanking for prospects, as if the Dodgers won't just wait till these prospects pan out and give them a blank check.
Yeah, and baseball,
that's awful.
You're not even
no idea.
You need, when teams really rebuild in baseball, you need, like, look at the Orioles, and the Nationals, you need like 3 years of drafts to even come close.
Deion D. Sauter said, Your Honor, what if our team is simply ass?
That's the case. Yeah, he's right. I forgot about the consecutive year rule.
The Lightning had back-to-back first-round picks. Guess who they were? Victor Hedman.
Kucherov?
And Steven Stamkos.
There you go. Franchise fixed.
Franchise is fixed.
Franchise pimped.
You want to not worry about tanking? There you go. Let teams be bad, and then they won't be bad anymore.
And that's what everybody in the NHL does. They're bad for a couple of years at a time to hopefully get a core like that. Damn, Kucherov was a 58th overall pick in his draft.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What was Bassey? Definitely late. His goalies never go early anymore.
He was a second rounder, I think.
Oh, he was 19th overall. That's early for a goalie.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Yeah, damn. So they got Kucherov and Bassey in back-to-back drafts and not even top 15 picks. What a build.
Dude, I think this was this Yzerman? When was Yzerman there? Because this is kind of crazy for drafting. They had Steven Stamkos in 2008. They drafted Victor Hedman. They drafted Victor Hedman number 2 overall in 2009. So it wasn't back-to-back first picks, but back-to-back high picks. Then in 2011, they got Vlad Meskov and Nikita Kucherov and Andre Palat in the same draft. And then the following draft, it was Andre Vasilevsky. Yeah, they were they were off to the races at that point.
They were living pimp your franchise.
Jonathan Drouin the year after that.
Oh, man.
Damn, what could have been? What could have been? What could have been, he says, about a team that won 2 cups. Last one, Conrad said Rams should have waited a week and gotten into the supplemental draft sweepstakes. Late second rounder is a much easier pill to swallow than an early first. I don't think that they would have done that, but no. It is interesting. Like, having Brendan Sorsby in this situation, it could potentially save the Cardinals' ass.
You think they'll do it even after taking Carson Beck 65th?
I think if taking Carson Beck at 65 prohibits you from taking Brendan Sorsby, then that is a problem. Yep. Yes. I think that is a horrible process, gotten even worse if they were to have that sort of line of thinking. There we go, folks.
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
We are not going to be live Wednesday, just to give the people a heads up.
No. We're down to once a week until further notice. And it'll mainly be on Mondays. Sometimes we'll have to be a little bit flexible, but yeah, we're down to once a week now during the summer, and most of that will deal with summer scouting. But we'll hit summer scouting in probably a couple of weeks. We'll start summer scouting and make sure that we can devote all the time that we want to that. But this is fun. It was good to get back in the saddle after the draft grades episode. I think it was fun to take a look at the 2027 class and some of the names, and then we'll be able to reference some of those names as we go through summer scouting. So this was good, man. I thought this was a lot of fun, especially to link back up with the Addicts here.
Absolutely. I love to kind of get a bird's eye view of how this class is being viewed already, and then we get to dissect it and do our own takes and who we think is a round one guy, who's being overhyped. And man, it's about that time. Start watching players again. Like I said, I watched Sorsby and Carr, but we'll do this quarterback class is gonna take more time, I think, than usual.
Mahal said, "All right, great. Now Trev can go find a job." Yeah, kinda.
Our chat, diabolical. Wisco, thank you.
Kinda.
Wisco saying, "Cotter, enjoy the paternity leave." That's very nice.
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. When then the stash will come back after that. It'll be even more
after
legendary
the photo shoot.
After the
Done.
photo shoot. Yeah.
Like it never left.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We would love for you to be part of the Addicts. Come back, hang out with us every single time that we go live. Make sure you guys are signed up for the NFLSC Discord as well. The link is in the bio for that. Follow us on social at NFLSC Show. You can follow us personally at Tampa Bay Trey and at Connor J. Rogers, basically across the platforms. Like we mentioned, we will be back with you guys next week, probably Monday. Not sure what we're going to do yet. Why would we plan the show before the show? You guys know that's not how we do it around here. For the chef behind the scenes, putting the whole show on, for Connor Rogers, I'm Trevor Sikkema saying thank you guys once again for watching the NFL Stock Exchange Show. We'll see you guys next week.